Okay, over at Nick's for a body update. We had painted up the doors and also the front bulkhead, as you can see here. And then Nick has added the front subframe, space frame and picture frame back on to the car. The intent here is that we're going to use this as the template or fixture for working on the hood, which we'll come back to in a second. One of the things we wanted to talk about here is the fitment of the door, and there's a really excellent video from Monocoque Metals. Chuck has got a very nice video explaining what to do and what to look for. So Nick has basically followed some of that, and the outcome is really quite spectacular. Nick, do you want to explain where some of the things that you followed up on and what we've looked at?
Yeah, so the front door gap, you'd want to, inside I'm telling myself I want it tighter, but you can only go so tight. The engineering of the door hinge, you can only go so tight before you're going to begin to have issues. The door wants to pinch through here. So you have to, I think it's about 1/4 of an inch is what you really want to aim for here. You can go about as tight as you want up here. Typically the E-types are relatively tight down there. The bottom, you can go as tight as you dare, and same in the rear of the door. This one's extremely important though. You can't be too tight in the front, and you don't want to be too wide. Spend a lot of time making sure that they all line up with the curvature of the rocker and it's all smooth.
Right, I'll take a view of that in a second. And then we have to be careful on this back edge as well, right?
Yeah, up in here we're going to have to do, I think, a little bit more adjusting here, as there's a chrome trim plate that lays across the top of the quarter, and for the door belt molding basically, they're going to lay in there. If we're too tight here, we're going to rub and...
So on the body side, that's actually leaded, so we have a little bit of room to play with that, and we need a slightly larger gap. This is the new door skin side. So, and then to give you an idea, look down the side. This is where all of that hard work setting up the sills, rockers, really pays off, and I think the panels from Monocoque really were quite a wise investment. So the end result is that we have a perfectly fitting door, and the passenger side is the same. So really quite pleased with this. So now that we have the body fully epoxy primered, we're able to move over to looking at the hood. And again, we're going to use this front end as our fixture to make sure the alignment in. So Nick has put all of the front end back on, including our new torsion bar plate that's got adjustment in it. I have to do some homework on actually how that works. Nick and I were just looking at that. It's not so obvious to me right now, but I guess we'll figure that out. Using the existing picture frame, obviously we have to get all the black off, but we'll do that as a separate piece of work. But should we go to the very front end?
Yeah.
All right. So this was in a. Can we turn it over, Nick?
Yeah.
This was had been in a lot of wars.
As most of them are.
Right. So that when the hood is up, obviously it's pretty close to the ground, and then there's no real protection on the front of the car. You just tap the bumper and you're going to have some sort of damage to the front end. So it gets a lot of damage. But Nick has spent some time on this already, and you can go back and look at some of the early video, and you'll see that where we are right now is looking so much better. The comment that I picked up from Chuck was that the fact that this is intact and needs quite a lot of body work, it's still like a piece of gold. So we decided to stick with the original front end. It's already looking infinitely better than it did, and there's still some magic left to go. Where we did make some investment was this adapter plate. I'm not quite sure what this is called. I can look it up. But basically, this locates the brackets for the hood, so that we can attach the hood to the body. That actually takes place in here. This was particularly bad, right? So we have a brand new one, which is the one that's in the middle, and I don't think we have any parts to transfer, right? This one is totally complete.
Yep.
It looks absolutely spot on. So this will actually rest inside of that. Can we see if we can do that?
Backwards.
Right. Oh, move your arm there, Nick. So that's how that will look as a basically as a final assembly. And again, I think we're in a good position with it. It's really just going to take a little bit of time to get the fettling done. Now on the hood side, the plan here is to take off all of the internal ribs, which is what Nick is working on at the moment. You can see on the other side of that, that's actually been done. And the damage to the hood that we've seen is predominantly in the areas where these ribs are. That's pretty obvious because it traps the dirt. So from underneath, we have these holes. And we have special plates that have been made up from monocoque. We've got to figure out how best to lay that in. But not only did Chuck send the parts that are specialized, can we show those, Nick? But he then sent a whole bunch of different instructions as well. So we need to go back, take a more detailed look at that. And figure out, make sure that we do this correctly. So he's made a part for each specific repair piece, and given us instructions on how to install those individual pieces. Once we have the hood assembly basically repaired, we then have to assemble it. Our plan at the moment is to put everything together, and then and just do that roughly, loosely, not tying anything up or join anything, and then mount that assembly onto the front of the car. Because again, we have a new space frame, picture frame is the same, the new front end here, this is all brand new, and we repaired an awful lot of the actual bulkhead, and we have everything square, parallel, and aligned. But now we've got to make sure that that hood assembly fits with a new set of datums. So we'll see how we get on with that. But right now we're making progress. We're shifting the focus from the body onto the hood assembly. I think it's going to look great. It's going to look really great. Somehow breaking the back of the body has given us a lot of incentive to keep going. I'm really happy. Right now, Nick's trying to decide what he does with his truck and his wheels. So, does he go with black or does he go with polished? So, let me know what you think. I like polished personally. Call me old school.
I'm leaning towards the polished myself as
Yeah,
well.
you see, finally get some taste. Anyway, all right, that's it for now.